What we get on that doesn't big. Is it going? Yeah. Yeah, there we are. Yep. Here I'm and I'm getting ready to get down to biz. I'm going to make a few announcements, and then we are going to have a discussion with a special guest. And I will tell you who the guest is and what the discussion is about momentarily. But right now, I just want to say thanks for everybody for showing up. It's great to have you here on another Tuesday evening. The subject matter tonight will be a little heavy, but I'm just finding it real hard to be too jovial with all that's going on in the western part of North Carolina. And I know we do have to keep living, but maybe some of you know how I'm feeling, what I'm talking about. But on the news front, this weekend, the ultimate lineup, I call it that all the time by mistake. Hold on one second. Oh, COVID-19! But the ultra lineup met right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We did rehearsals for the Texas, Louisiana Halloween hayride coming up at the end of the month. And I got to say, man, we've got a set put together that is going to blow your mind. Some things that you more than likely expect, you can expect. And I can promise you there will be some things in there that you never ever thought you'd ever hear us play live, and it's going to be a good time, and I'm going to tell you about this good time right now. The good time starts in Shreveport, Louisiana on October 30th. And we'll be at Bears in Shreveport, and we will, doing all these shows with us, will be a fantastic band called Josephus and the George Jonestown Massacre. They're going to be our direct support all 4 nights. But at Bears in Shreveport, we will also be joined by local favorites, Blood Drunk. And we've played with them before. They're a really good band, and I think if you come out to see this 3-band tag team, you're going to be very entertained. The next night, Halloween night, at Sagebrush in Austin, Texas. Along with us and Josephus is also local legends of the Texas area, Sabbath Crow. I myself am looking forward to seeing these guys, and we have a lot of old friends and old fans in the Austin area, Austin and San Antonio. And I predict it's going to have a family reunion type feeling. And the last time we played Austin, Texas was, I really think it was with Zeke. And that may have been 10 years ago. I don't know. I really don't remember. It's been a while. It's going to be good to be back there. The next night, November 1st, we will be at the Amp Room in San Antonio, Texas. Tesco V walked off stage at a show we did together in the Meat Men and Antiseen, and he says, San Antonio is an anti-scene town. And he is right. And San Antonio is an anti-scene town. And I'm going to tell you about what's going on at the Amp Room that night. The show, it's going to be an early show, early starting show on a Friday night too. It's going to start at 8:15. First band to go on is our longtime tag team partners. We've done split records with them. We've toured with them. We've played all over the country with them. The legendary, infamous Rancid Vat is going to open the show. So if you think you're going to wait till about 9:30 or 10 o'clock to come out, man, you're going to miss Rancid Vat. So get there early. Next will be Josephus again. And then us. But because we're a bunch of old farts and don't want to stay up late, there's going to be a band to play after us since it's Friday night and they want people to stick around, make the scene, and I think you should, because you will get to hear the amazing sounds of the Drink Fight Thugs after Antiseen at the Amp Room on November 1st. On November 2nd, we will be in the great city of Lafayette, Louisiana, at the Freetown Boom Boom Room. Again with Josephus and with local favorites, Pure Filth. Can y'all dig that? Well, I hope you can. Oh, everyone's coming in. Hey, Terry. Hey, Stephen. Byron. Great to see everybody. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest for tonight. He is, a lot of you people have been to see Antiseen in the last, 12 years, 15 years? You probably know this man. He's always our stagehand. He's been all over the world with us, and he's here tonight for a special reason, and I will get into. Actually, I'll go ahead and tell you right now. You know, when I opened the show talking about the people in Western North Carolina, well, and there's all kind of stuff, especially on these social media platforms, that's some may not be true, some may be exaggerations, some are just pure lies. I got someone here that has been taking supplies to his family that are in the mountain, not at the foothills and all that. They are in the mountains, and they have experienced, and they're not near one of the bigger cities up there, so they're really kind of in the low key. He's going to tell us what's really going on, what's really happening. The true story, real news. Will you please welcome to break on through my main Brandon Robinson. Come on, Hans.
Everybody.
Yeah. We're framed up good here.
Greetings, people of Earth.
All right, Brandon.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a period of time here, man. This storm has wreaked havoc on people. My family, people I know, are all affected by this storm, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. The recovery process is only beginning, so that's, I guess, what we're here to talk about, what's happening and what we can do to kind of help.
Well, you go ahead and tell us what you have been doing since pretty much day one.
Well, day one was scary. I wasn't able to do much until day 4 because we had no communication. Here, I'm out of Charlotte. We were okay. We had cell service, we had all that, but in the mountains...
Yeah, I only suffered one day of no power.
Yeah, we had power off for a few hours.
I'm going to tell you what, I told this on Break On Through, I felt like a real piece of crap complaining griping about not having power when I had no idea what was going on.
Well, not many people knew what was coming, because when I called my family the night before and was just like, hey, well, looks like you guys might get more than we will here in the city for once. The mountains are going to get hit harder than we are. We didn't expect power would be out like it is. We didn't expect the flooding. We didn't expect anything. They say, yeah, we'll let you know how it is tomorrow. Well, it was 4 days.
4 days before you heard anything.
Anything. We didn't know. All I saw was a pretty scary video from the town that my family is from. They're truly in the heart of it, and so it's pretty scary to see some of the stuff that's being shared online, because obviously that's always the worst possible stuff that they could show is what they're. But that's a side thing. The point is, all of my family are thankfully alive and well and okay. Some of my family have power back, some do not. Some have cell service, most don't. These are problems that are not going to change anytime soon, just because of the order of operations that has to happen to even start working on these problems. So I think there's a lot of stuff going around right now that is making people think certain things, and I would just like to share with people what I know as far as how people are handling this. And I think it's the first thing people need to understand is how these mountain communities are laid out. And if you're not from the mountains, if you haven't spent a lot of time up there, you might not realize that these communities are all laid out. When you get up into the hills, deep into the mountains, the housing, they don't really have neighborhoods down there. It's all roads that are right beside of creeks usually. And when you get off of a highway and get back up into those hills, man, the creeks are right next to the roads, and they just get, so many of the roads have just been washed away. So to get cell service back, it's not a matter of
just driving up there and hooking it up.
No,
right?
So you can go down one road and look down it, and you can see as far as you can see until it starts to curve, and all you see are chunks of asphalt and roots and mud and total destruction. But the thing is about that, there's people down that road. There's families down those roads, and they can't get out, and the only way to get in is on horseback, ATVs, stuff like that. So in order to reestablish phone connection, you first need a road to get the power line. You can't pull a line before you have a road to get on to use.
And I just want to make it clear to people that, you hear the roads washed out. Well, it's not a matter of waiting for the water to subside and be able to pass. We're talking chunks of the road are gone.
In most cases, I shouldn't say most, in some cases, the water has gotten back down to a manageable state. It's just all the debris, all the damage, there's bridges that are washed away. People are literally using rafts to get across water and stuff just to get out, to get supplies, food, water, the basic necessities.
And I'll tell you this, I saw a thing today of the Blue Ridge Parkway. Now, if you've never been on the Blue Ridge Parkway, that's a long, winding road that's right, like, the higher up you go, you're high. You're way up there, and it looks like, I'm not trying to minimalize but in the movies you see where a Godzilla or something stomps a road and it's just gone. It's a big, a gigantic.
It's a crater.
That's what it looks like, a crater.
And
you think, well, I can go on. Nah, man, because at the side, you're talking about here's a road. That's mountain right there. You're not going anywhere unless you go down this way, which who knows how many feet before you stop.
Well, let me tell you what is happening right now today. The project right now in these small communities where it's just the people that are there because they're the only people can't get in there to help. So right now the project is the community comes together. Thank goodness. Now this is just something to say about the people that live in the mountains. They're the type of people that have backhoes and equipment around. So that's a blessing in and of itself in many cases. But the project right now is just clearing pathways, taking chainsaws, getting it open at least for one lane to get people in and out. Mostly out right now. And people are getting out of the roads and the areas that truly are away from big city centers. Those areas, the people whose houses have washed away are going to local high schools, middle schools, sleeping in gymnasiums, and the local, in my family's town, the local middle school and high school they have basically set up a free supply area. You need water, come get it. You need a few protein bars, come get it. People are taking care of each other as best they can, but it's not a matter of just going down a road, reconnecting a power line, and flipping a switch. That is step 50.
No, you're rebuilding an infrastructure.
Exactly, and so many things have to happen that will get us to the problems that people are talking about. But the problems people are talking about are way on down the line, and there's a lot to be done before we can even get to.
Didn't you say someone there said that, for it to be back to any kind of normal, they're probably looking at about 15 years?
Yes, absolutely. Because, see, it's not a matter of, like I said, these places that are affected aren't areas that you can't get a construction crew. You can't get a bunch of stuff that you can get in the cities or places like that. It's just, when the roads are destroyed, it's literally just down to the people that are there. And that is what's happening. When help can't get to these people, they have to take care of themselves. And thankfully, the people that are having to do that are generally have the spirit to do it. I'm so impressed by those people.
That's the thing you bring up there, man. You don't understand, man. People like to give all kind of negative connotations to mountain people, and they're not all toothless hillbillies running moonshine stills. I can tell you that. One thing I have always known, I didn't grow up with mountain folks in our family. We were down in the Piedmont, and they were farmers. They were regular farmers, and but we had a close relationship with people up there, and I'm telling you, the people there just have a different.
It's a natural ingenuity.
They're it's a different breed of person.
Yeah, survival comes natural because they live in the place that you have to have survival skills to survive out there. And right now, it is back to survival mode for most people in those areas. And so here's another thing: is if you are not one of the people who has experienced a tragedy, loss of life, if you've lost family members, if you're lucky enough to be one of the people who has your power back on and has cell service, and if you're one of the families that are good, those are the people who are doing things like, if you need a shower, come on down. We got a pot of soup on 24/7. Come get you something to eat. That kind of stuff is just typical right now. Everyone's doing that kind of thing, and so thankfully the people that are affected are, I think, going to take care of each other as best they can, but they do need help, and help cannot get to them right now. And that is the main problem. Is it's not that there are people that want to help, but help can't get to most of these people. So that's.
We just have a comment here by Ryan McClure, born and raised and resides there. And it says his family lived there for generations, and the destruction is a level that they have never seen.
Yeah.
And
or probably even thought was possible for that area.
Right.
And no one expected this.
And look here, he says every able-bodied man with a chainsaw, ATV, and a tractor has shown up.
Exactly.
And he said 6 bridges went out on his creek alone. By today, the Hillbilly Army already had 3 of them finished.
That's what I'm talking about.
And
that kind of stuff is taking place everywhere, man.
now Ryan's on here, man. If anyone wants, if you want to find out what's really going on, man, this is the news right here. Ryan, Brandon, you know, the people that are there, man. Don't rely on social media, and don't rely on the media in general to give you an accurate picture of what's happening, man. This is devastating. And look, I'm going to tell you something here. Everybody that is hearing my voice today, I don't know what everybody's thing is when they wish well for people, but man, I'm saying everyone needs to pray for Florida tonight, or tomorrow night, excuse me, Wednesday night, because it looks bad, man. It looks real bad. The people down there are a little bit more accustomed to having this happen, but man, the way that storm is looking right now, it is huge. And
there will be people working on this for 10 to 15 years easy, and the same thing is getting ready to happen. I mean, these hurricanes come in and do this kind of stuff, and not to minimize anything else, but this kind of stuff is not going away. Life is permanently changed for many people.
No, man, listen.
Just a few hours up the road from us, and it's all happening right here on our own backyard.
Charlotte got hit with Hugo,
right?
Which was a Category 4 when it hit Charlotte, right? Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Am I
wrong? I think all I know is it was the strongest hurricane that I ever had been through, and I used to live on the Gulf Coast. We used to evacuate hurricanes. It seemed like, you know, a couple times a year, but Hugo was bad, and I'm telling you, man, Charlotte was messed up, really messed up. But within a few months, things were kind of back to normal. That's not going to be the case for the mountains. Mm-hmm. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. You need to pray for Florida. You need to pray for Tennessee. You need to pray for Georgia. You need to pray for the Carolinas. And but I'm telling you, man, the only thing I'm concerned about is, and it's because of our attention spans nowadays, that in 2 weeks, people will just forget. But man, I am going to bring this up as often as I can. I'm going to post as much stuff as I can, give you information I can. In a few weeks, after Brandon has done more runs up there, maybe we have Brandon back and give us some updates. See, you know, maybe we can get it to where, you know, he can take some photos of his own and we can post them on my page or the Antiseen page. Because man, this is serious.
Well, I will be doing all that stuff along with documenting, and that's another thing as far as documenting the storm and the results of it. People are doing that. Nobody needs to go up there and to try to film this and document it, because there's plenty of that going on. There's people sending pictures out that are there. You know, that's a problem. People are going in just to look and go, look at the crazy stuff going on. Well,
and that is doing nobody any good.
It gets in the way of people that need to be there to work. And
if you're bringing supplies, drop them up there, drop them off, and get out.
Right. And
don't get in the way. Don't sightsee.
There's plenty of documentation that's happening right there now. And the other thing is, man, we still don't know we won't know the full extent of this for months, but we still haven't heard from people. There's still 5 people missing in the county that my family's in right now.
People you know.
And I know of them. I've known one of them I do know, and I know of all 5 of them. I mean, in a town like that, there's only a little over 1,000 people that live there anyway. You know, places like that, you know each other, and that's part of the reason why this is so, you know, it affects you personally when it's one thing to hear about something like this, but when it's your own family, your own friends, your own people that are involved in it, and it's happening just a few hours up the highway. If you're here in North Carolina, this is in your backyard, and it has gone back to third world status in some places, in a lot of places. So people are not going to be fully recovered for this. Some never will. Some people's lives are permanently changed. Some people have a long process to bounce back, but it's happening, and people are looking after each other, and that's very encouraging. But this is a problem that's not going away anytime soon. Is the point, I think.
And as everything tends to do, everyone's trying to politicize it. I'm not going to get into that here because I don't want to get into arguments, and I don't want to say things that maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I got a few comments here. Let me read this. This is from Wesley Dixon, and he says, "We still don't have water in Asheville, and no one knows when we will. They're talking about months before we get it. Mm-hmm. We're blessed, taking care of each other. Thank y'all for the prayers and support." And see, there you go. There's an example of exactly what I'm talking about. Ryan comes back with supply hubs will usually revolve around local schools and volunteer fire departments.
Right.
It says his hometown of Lansing, North Carolina, and Ashe County was all but wiped out. And, you know, you're hearing about Chimney Rock and Boone, and you hear a lot about Asheville, but man, there's a ton of towns. Mm-hmm. Tons of towns that were just really, really beat bad.
And that is where most of the drops are happening, is at the schools and stuff. Now, the schools won't be opening this year, probably not in the mountains. That's what I've been hearing from my family that's there, is that schools will forget about it. They need that space for people to...
I did hear today on the news coming home that one of the main centers there that deliver insulin.
Yeah.
Were able to get back up and running because people built a stone bridge for the vehicles to go across. Because this is serious, man. People don't get their insulin, they're gonna die.
Oh yeah, and to add to that, it's going back to people are resorting to horseback, to like ATVs, like
mule trains.
That's happening.
There's
Absolutely.
goat trains.
Everything.
Man, people are really making it happen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bulls, you know, ox, everything. They got the animals to make them work. They're doing it because animals can get somewhere to these people that vehicles can't. Now, Ryan says if he comments a lot, it's because Ryan, you comment as much as you can, man. You say as much as you can in this book, because when people listen to this tonight or later this week, when they're listening to it, I want them to go back and read the comments and see what's going on, man. If anyone has links, addresses, anything to any places, now I don't know that they really, like you were saying, you don't want to just driving up there and getting in the way. But I mean, of course, if someone has a truck full of water,
well, sure,
they'll find a place to use that, okay? But places, man, what they really need is places to donate. If you could donate money to some of these places, man, there's oh man, I wish I had a better comprehensive list of places, which I will continue to do that here on Break On Through and on my Facebook page, and even on the Antiseen Facebook page. I will constantly provide information and links, anything I think will be useful. I can say this right now, you should, I run the risk of sounding like a conspiracy theorist here, but stay away from the gigantic big organizations. Get to the individual organizations that are doing something. The churches, like we said, the volunteer fire departments, stuff like that.
Or just individuals, man. I think that when something like this happens, try to find someone as close to the source of the event as possible and get supplies directly to those people. If you know someone in the area, like I've seen people donating money to people's businesses that are up there. I've seen stories where people are like all the campgrounds that were totally demolished. You can book a campsite, even though the campground is gone. You can still donate to the businesses that way. You can do things like that. You can just find a local person that you might know and ask them, hey, do you have Venmo, PayPal? Here's some money. You can buy whatever you need for your neighbors, those people. The communities are really, it's come down to people taking care of each other in these areas. And that kind of stuff is always helpful to get as close to the source as you can.
Well, see, Brian brings up a valid point. It's scary to donate because you don't know who to trust.
Exactly.
But I'm going to tell you this. Adam Wolf, Katie After Dark, just mentions Samaritan's Purse. They are up there.
They are up there. My family has encountered them, actually. My family has told me they've encountered them, and they encountered...
Hearts with Hands?
I haven't heard about them. I've heard about the Samaritan's Purse and the people that have been... There was a crew from Charlotte. A Charlotte firefighter crew came through and was just, I think, they were knocking door to door. Is anyone here that's hurt? Do you need any emergency supplies or anything like that? But generally speaking, it's people taking care of their neighbors and relying on that. So.
I do want to tell you about some individuals that I know of that have gone up there on their own. Ralph Miller of Rusty Knuckles Records. You know, he put out some Antiseen albums and stuff, and he has led or is part of a crew that's going up there with chainsaws and everything, and they're doing what you say, clearing road.
That's the first thing that has to happen.
Yeah,
just clearing road is first.
And also, a local artist here, a fantastic artist named Andy the Door Bum.
All right, yeah.
He's been doing going live and showing his video. You know, talking about he's gonna, like, anyone that donates to him, he's gonna show the receipts of what he does, film the, you know. I mean, me personally, I think that's a little much, but you know, hey, you know what? That dispels that rumor of you can't donate to someone.
Yeah.
And I just want to personally say to people that if you are looking for a place to donate, the church that I attend, the Encounter Charlotte, probably in the first few days I've been there, setting up camps, with serving lunches and dinners. I know one day they served 2,000 lunches there, and they're not charging anyone for it, and it's completely donations. And this is I'm going to hold this here for a second. You see that encountertoday.com. You go there, and there will be a spot where you can donate. And I'm going to tell you, I would not take the chance of putting this up here and asking people to do it if I did not 110% believe that they are doing some good. So that's one of them take it to the bank statements right there. But
Ryan mentioned Samaritan's Purse again, and
this is Ryan, someone that's in it right now. He says Samaritan Purse seems to be solid.
I've heard very good things about them from my family as well. That's up there. They seem to be very involved. So they are probably solid.
And I will take this stab, man. People are saying, well, the government's not doing this, the government's not doing that. And I'm not going to get into too much commentary because I could take this show in a whole different direction. But I will just go ahead and say this to everybody. Don't expect them to do anything. And everyone will be much happier, and you'll be much more, you'll get a lot more done. You'll get, a lot more will get done. It will be done right. So there. That's all I got to say about that.
To add on to that just a little bit. you should not expect. You nailed it when you said don't expect anything, because a lot of times, from what I'm hearing from the people that are there every day, is that people just started doing it on their own because they know like nobody's coming. Nobody, you already have to go into it thinking this is our problem to handle, people, and we gotta just handle it. We do, not anybody else. No one's coming in from outside. We just have to handle this ourselves, and so that's what a lot of people are doing. And the rest of it will the government and all that will show up and do whatever they do if it's anything. But the mindset of the people involved are let's take care of business ourselves, and that is, I mean, we're seeing examples of it just here, like triangulate. Yeah, there's supply routes and stuff going on. Oh, I thought you was talking about something. Never mind on that one, but yeah, there's so much happening with people just taking care of business themselves, and that is number one.
So I encourage you, like I said, if you're listening to my voice, listen to Brandon, go back in here, read some of the comments, and again, one more time, I want to say, I encourage you all to post links, post information. If you're from there, like Wes and Ryan right now are up there. If you guys know any areas where people can get supplies, I mean, who knows? Wesley texted me today and just said he just got cell service back, so he's able to be here with us on Break On Through. And
yeah, and he just says churches are the best place to donate. Most of the time, they're getting supplies out to the people in the local area right around them, and there are so many churches spread throughout those hills and the mountains that it is not. Those are good central hubs of locations. The other locations people are meeting up at is along the main power lines, because those are the first ones to get fixed. So those are places that these people are going to get signal out and whatnot. But hopefully that'll get better over the next couple of weeks, and people won't have to travel just to communicate outside of these areas, because a lot of people are still having to get on a four-wheeler and ride their ATV 30 minutes or wherever down the road just to get to their neighbor who has some Wi-Fi and to get a message out, hey, we need this, that, or the other, and that's how it's happening. So, and it will continue to happen that way for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be for a long, man. Listen, I know you're thinking, well, I want to hear, I want to stop hearing about. You're not going to stop hearing about it from me, because every week I'm going to say something. Every week I'm going to post something.
Let me add the stuff that is very, very important right now that people need is propane and grills, charcoal, stuff like that. Propane especially, propane heaters, because it's starting to get cold in the mountains.
It's going to get cold, man.
It's going to be down in
it's
the
going to be in the 30s.
tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
And that's, I talked to my folks just a couple hours ago. They were saying it's supposed to hit the 30s tonight, so that is a huge thing people are going to be needing, because it's starting to get cold up there, and they're going to need a lot of propane and stuff like that.
So, Brandon, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think that, I just want to say personally, I'm very thankful for everyone who's taking time to help in any kind of way. Even if you're just donating, it means the world to me and my family. And because this is home. This happened right here. This is us. It's not something that we're just hearing about. We're directly involved this time. So anyone who is helping, I personally just want to thank you. And if it's just anything that you can think of to do, share it, post it. If you've come up with a new idea, hey, donate. Here's a person I found that has this thing set up. You can donate to them. Share this stuff, because that's really how this stuff is getting out. It's a community effort. This whole ordeal, and what we're doing now is a community effort, and that's how I think it's going to remain a community effort for the foreseeable future. So I just want to thank everybody who is involved in fixing this as best we can. So, and thank you, Jeff, for
Yeah,
letting me
man.
come on here and talk about all of this.
Yeah, we had a discussion yesterday, and I asked him. I said, "Would you want to come on, break on through, and talk?" You know, and it took a little bit of prodding, but I think this is important.
It is,
and because you know what, man, what it all boils down to is anytime we can, especially in these situations, it's nice to not have social media, especially this platform. And I'm going to use language I'm trying to stop using all the time, but it's good for it not to be a useless pile of shit.
Exactly. Every now and then, it still does come in pretty handy, and times like this are when it's useful.
So, to any, like Brandon said, to anyone who has donated, to anyone who has, man, all the way from sharing a link, man, you don't know how good that will do. You know, everything. I just want to say, God bless you all. All you people up there in the mountains, you're not forgotten.
Oh no.
You live in a state where we are not going to let you be there on your own. And
when we find out more over the next few weeks from the people who still can't communicate, we'll know better how to help. But for right now, this is what's happening.
So, like I said, donate when and where you can. I would not give you my church's information if I did not 110% think that it will help, and they're doing a great job. There's the address. Samaritan's Purse, I think we're in agreement.
I think so.
Unanimous agreement with the people that are speaking up that
Starlink is set up. Yes.
Starlink is set up. Thank you, Elon Musk.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, they're talking about setting up more of that, but they do have Starlink set up, and it has helped. It has actually made a difference. So.
And before we sign off, I would just like to ask, I want all of our friends and our fans and our families in Florida, I'm not going to tell you how to prepare for a hurricane. You people know way more than I do. I just want to say that we are praying for you. We're praying for your safety. And if you would, tonight, if you're a praying type, if you're just a type that sends out positive thoughts, please send some out to Doug the Throgmorton. All right? Well, everybody, I know this was a heavy subject, but man, sometimes life is heavy. And sometimes it's not all fun and games. And this has not been fun and games. And all you guys from up there in the mountains, man, please keep post stuff in the body of this broadcast. We're gonna make sure lots of people see it. I'm gonna have Clinton Zilla probably change the thumbnail for this when he puts it up on YouTube. Yeah, I can't remember all these platforms. When he puts it on YouTube, I'm probably gonna have him change that and make it a little bit more subject. Make it have a better link to what we talked about tonight. And so, yes, thank you as always. Even when we are just cutting up and acting a fool, man, I appreciate you all being here. And Brandon, I appreciate you being here today and talking.
Of course, man. Of course. I thank you. My family thanks you. All of you viewers out there, thank you from me and my family. And keep on supporting the people in the mountains because this problem is just starting. The process is just beginning.
North Carolina, you will not be forgotten. Florida, we're praying for you. And hopefully we'll have some, on the next break on through, we'll have some good news, okay? Everybody, pray. Ask God for safety. And God bless you all. And I will talk to you right here next week on Break On Through. All right.